Hey QP instructors, this is Cindy. John Bean's book is about fostering critical thinking in our classroom, and like us, he sees writing as essential to that task. Most of what we've said about writing to learn is based on this relationship between critical thinking and writing. So I thought maybe we'd touch more explicitly on the critical thinking aspect of our QEP at our monthly lunch training scheduled for Friday, April 25th. Look at page 5 of your Bean book. There he talks about how to design your disciplinary courses so that they foster the critical thinking we're looking for in our students, and he cites 8 principles for doing so. In particular, he says that 3 of the 8 are most important. Number 2, which says to give students a point of entry into your discipline and to make that point of entry the problems, questions, and issues that animate your course content. Number 4, which says to make your course assignment centered with students using your content rather than lecture or text centered with students simply acquiring your course content. And number 5, which says to require students to formulate and justify their ideas themselves through writing. One key then to student success is the instructor's assignments. If they are designed well, they can lead our student step by step to better writing and critical thinking. Bean likes these 3 principles so well, he devotes an entire chapter to them. Starting on page 151, Bean lists 10 strategies for designing critical thinking tasks. Most of these are writing to learn activities, but on a larger scale. So, number 1, to assimilate a new concept, learners must link it back to a mental structure they already have in place. This makes it easier for them to learn. Number 2, we all know that we really learn something when we have to teach it. So have your students explain the new concept to someone who doesn't already know it. Number 3, have students argue both sides of a controversial issue. Number 4, have students tackle a specific problem in your discipline. Number 5, have students analyze data and then formulate a hypothesis that supports that data. Number 6, provide a template that will lead students into seeing the relationships among concepts. Number 7, they can role play. Number 8, they can summarize their readings or lectures. Number 9, they can write a dialogue. And number 10, they can do some sort of case study or simulation. So here's what I'd like for everybody to do for our training on next Friday, the 25th. It's to read chapter 8 and choose one of these strategies. Then take an assignment that you already have that's important to the learning that your students do in your class and revise it to use the strategy that you just chose. For example, here's an assignment that I used early on in my teaching. Notice that it doesn't use any of the principles we've talked about in our QEP. So now here's the revised assignment, which I based on strategy 9. I created a dialogue, or I have the students create a dialogue. So this is what I'd like you to do too. It's not a lot of work. You don't have to bring in the entire assignment. Just what you're doing now and how you would revise it using one of those principles. So we'll share those new assignments at our training lunch on Friday, April 25th. See you there.